ID, call forwarding, call waiting, and call blocking.
I think it's time you cut the blue wire.
Cut the blue wire. Save up to $250 on your phone features with RevVoice. Get RevVoice. Save money.
Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight, details of a global network of offshore companies revealed in the Panama Papers. Concern over the recent homicides on Grand Bahama and support for Buddy Hield remains strong in his hometown. Welcome to our news. I'm Christina McNeil. Thanks for joining us. Topping news tonight, the Bahamas has been named as the third most popular tax haven for some of the world's richest and most powerful individuals. According to a report released Sunday, the Panama Papers, compiled by the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists, is being called one of the largest data leaks in history, covering nearly 40 years of records, more than 200,000 companies in 21 offshore jurisdictions. On the list of tax havens named in the report, the Bahamas ranks third, only behind the British Virgin Islands and Panama, where the firm at the center of the data leak is headquartered.
Has revealed that a Panamanian firm helped these companies operate as attacks in Syria continued. That firm, Mossack Fonseca, is a key player in a sprawling, secretive industry that the world's rich and powerful use to hide assets and skirt rules by setting up front companies in far-flung jurisdictions.
More than 300 journalists followed the paper trail that led to real victims around the world.
Uganda, a company that wanted to sell a prospective oil field, paid Mossack Fonseca to help it avoid $400 million in taxes. It was simple paperwork. The company's address was changed from one tax haven.
Since the release of the Panama Papers, The Guardian broke the news that the father of United Kingdom Prime Minister David Cameron avoided paying taxes in Britain through the Bahamas-based investment fund Blairmore Holdings Incorporated. According to The Guardian report, the fund retained officers in the Bahamas, including the late Solomon Humes, a lay bishop in the Church of God of Prophecy. Well, according to a statement issued by Minister of Financial Services Hope Strawn, the leak of documents in the Panama Papers is disconcerting. She says the leak challenges the work and validity of international financial centers and is something the ministry will be following closely. She adds that the Bahamas is compliant with international regulatory standards. A little later, former Minister of Financial Services Ryan Pinder joins us in studio to give his take on this developing story. In other news, recent homicides on Grand Bahama have some residents on that island concerned about guns and violence. The community of 8 Mile Rock was hit hard by a recent murder. Our news correspondent Pakisha Parker Edgecombe tells us more.
7 murders recorded on Grand Bahama already for the year, the latest of which came in the Hannah Hill area of the country's third largest settlement, 8 Mile Rock. The victim, a 22-year-old male, was shot to death during the early morning hours on Sunday. His shooting death comes less than 3 days following the murder of a senior customs officer in the South Bahama area of Freeport and the shooting death of a 20-year-old at Fish Fry in Smiths Point. Some community members are expressing concern regarding the recent turn of events.
I feel it's a little bit too much and it's just out of hand. And I think we need a lot of help.
They're doing too bad. They can't be doing this. And innocent people. Understand? They're thieving from them, they're robbing them, they're breaking up from their house, all kind of stuff. They gotta stop that.
A call for better conflict resolution is also being made.
Right now, I just think that everybody just needs to, whatever the problem is, try to deal with it in a better way because murder is not the key.
Our news team was able to speak with Assistant Commissioner of Police Emmerich Seymour, who stated that the recent murders are one too many. This while noting that members of the police force will be relentless in their efforts. Seymour added further that there is no reason for alarm. This while calling on members of the public to join forces with police by providing information that could assist with investigations and bringing those responsible for such horrific acts to justice. Reporting for our news in Grand Bahama, I'm Pakisha Parker Edgecombe.
And the men wanted for questioning in relation to the Louis Bacon-Peter Nygaard controversy have been released from police custody. This as Democratic National Alliance leader Granville McCartney speaks out on the issue of major party leaders meeting with two of the central players in the matter, Livingston Toggy Bullard and Whistler Bobo Davilma.
It is an international embarrassment, again, but this time it's both parties causing this international embarrassment.
He says it is frightening, to say the least, that members of both sides are speaking to individuals described as gang members in affidavits. That, he says, is not okay, as he describes what happened when one of the individuals in question tried to meet with him.
It was in the papers and all that stuff, threats of death, and really caused an uproar in my office, and there were two persons who were charged. And for some reason, the police was unable to get the other two. Very, very, very strange, I find it. Now, with the commissioner saying that these guys are being held for questioning, I don't know if they're arrested, they're being held for questioning. Well, I do hope that the good commissioner is able to do his job without political interference and get the necessary information they need so that justice can be done.
Given the ongoing investigation into the matter, McCartney says he is sure Police Commissioner Ellison Greenslade will do the right thing. This as McCartney says he finds it odd that some individuals named in the scandal are still receiving political support.
I find it amazing, though, that we have persons, in light of what is going on, still supportive of individuals who's caught up in these criminal acts. That tells me something, and it's concerning. I just hope that the Bahamian people would want more. You know, they would want more for their country. I hope they would want and expect more out of their government and governance of this country.
Toogie and Bobo were detained by police last Wednesday night at separate locations on New Providence.